Hey guys, bigburty again here, and today I want to showcase some figures that are probably in my top 3 all-time favourite lines, and these are Slug Zombies. Now, Slug Zombies came out late 2012, made by Jakks Pacific, and apart from being one of my favourite figure lines, they're also one of the figure lines that frustrates me the most, because out of something that could have been absolutely incredible, the company ruined itself towards the end, and in fact there were several series that never got produced. Well, actually I think they did get produced, and some of them are sitting in a warehouse somewhere. But anyway, I'm lucky enough to own the first series figures, which are still some of the hardest to come by, and after that I managed to get my hands on a master set of all the produced figures. Now, Slug Zombies stand just under 2 inches tall, and they're produced in this fantastic green, almost slime coloured plastic, sort of a cross between a softer muscle type material, obviously not rubbery like a Monster in My Pocket figure, but you can see here these figures also came with the human hunter element, which were produced in this lovely flesh colour. So here's an example, and you can see in the background there that not only were they released in single blind bags, they were also released in these 3 packs that you can see along here, and some of the series were also produced in a larger coffin size, which contained 12 figures. So just put that back there. Now, of Series 1, which I mentioned earlier, the hardest to come by and still command quite a price if you're looking on eBay in particular, some of the figures were actually exclusive to that series. So if we start with Series 1, from the packs we actually had a total of 8 figures that were exclusive. We had this one here, and then going with him we had this, which looks very, very much like Mike Tyson. And then we had these other 2 figures here, the mailman and the police officer of sorts there. Hold him up, you can see. And alongside those figures there were another small set of exclusives within Series 1, and they consisted of this sort of detective Sherlock Holmes type character. We had the pirate, which looks quite cool. We had the gunslinging cowboy, and last but not least we had Eric the Dead, which was the Viking type character. And after the success of Series 1, they went on to produce various other series, each of which came with a little checklist, which I've been keeping in the bags like so. And apart from Series 1, they all had their human hunter counterparts, as you can see here and here, and others that were produced and sealed in those 3 packs at the back. Or if I show you another one here, this is quite a nice one. It's the fireman there, fire rescue. Now, if you notice with the flesh figures, the human figures, this is what I partly believe led to the downfall of the Slug Zombies line. Some of these characters, it's very, very obvious who they've based them on. This one here looking like Stallone and Rambo. This one here undoubtedly modelled on Lara Croft of Tomb Raider fame. There's one that looks like Ash from Evil Dead. Let me find him out. There he is in his little bag. Now, the problem, from what I'm led to believe, is they didn't have a license for these likenesses, and they actually sailed a little bit close to the wind with some of these likenesses. Again, another one from Series 1, this Mike Tyson lookalike. And I think that actually played some part in the downfall of this line. The fact that certain companies, people, celebrities maybe, I don't know, were taking action or about to take action against the toy line because they hadn't got the correct license to have such likenesses in the line. I mean, obviously here's another one, very, very clearly designed around Bruce Lee there in Enter the Dragon. So I'm not sure if that was a major part of the downfall of this line. Another issue, though, I'm led to believe, is the way that the figures were actually distributed. Now, I'm in England, and I don't ever really remember seeing these figures over here. I think they might have been in Toys R Us over here, but I never found them. I had to rely on my American friends to sell the figures to me, and in some cases I was fortunate enough for them to send them to me for free. A quick story about the three packs at the back here and the Slug Zombie coffin pack that I showed you earlier. I actually went to New York with my wife for a week, not long after the Slug Zombies were first released, and I went into the Toys R Us shop in Times Square desperately searching for Slug Zombies. I couldn't find anything, even though I'd searched the whole shop, but my wife was looking in a place right at the back of the store in a completely random toy aisle, and she actually found these three packs here and the 12-pack coffin stuffed behind another load of toys. So I was able to get those, so that made the trip to Toys R Us in Times Square worth it. But other than that, I've never actually seen them in the shops, and certainly never saw them over here. One thing I must show you, because we're on the run up to Christmas, they also produced a Christmas themed line of 8 Slug Zombie figures. So who wouldn't want a zombie Santa or a zombie snowman? Move these out the way. They also had within that line a zombie reindeer that you can see there, and again they came with the Christmas zombie guide, complete with holly wreath, holly ring there. Now, as I said before, these are some of my favourite figures, and I know a lot of other collectors, toy collectors out there, that love the Slug Zombie line, and it was a real shame how things went downhill for them so quickly towards the end. What is quite interesting though is I do know somebody who managed to get their hands on some of the unreleased figures, and they were even bringing out some glow-in-the-dark figures in the later series that never got produced. But the guy I know, he has them. I can't remember how he got them now, but he actually has some of the figures that were produced but never actually distributed. So I'm under the impression that somewhere in the world there's a mass of unreleased Slug Zombies sitting in a warehouse somewhere, which is a real shame really, because they are really, really cool. And if I just, before I end the video, show you a few other rather interesting characters. This one is great, which was the zombie dog. And you've even got, which is quite unusual for a toy line, if I can just find it, we've got a token zombie child, which you can see here, a little girl. And in fact, I believe there was a little boy character that was meant to be released in the later series, but that never happened. They also were planning on producing sort of alien figures, I think, if my memory is correct. But anyway, these are the figures I have, which is the full set of produced figures, and hopefully you guys have got some too. If you haven't, have a little look on eBay, check out the Facebook groups that are selling minifigures. But remember, Series 1 in particular are hard to come by and still cost quite a bit of money. All the other series, especially the later series, they're pretty cheap to pick up and are still great sculpts. So thanks, and see you next time.